Well, here we are again at the Lonnerberg at New Year's Day 2021, and yeah, let's see what this year is going to bring. I hope we get rid of COVID, but yeah, New Year, and it's been a while since I've been at this place here at the Lonnerberg near the Twente Air Force Base, and they have been cutting down a lot of trees here apparently. So that has been kind of thinned out. This looks very soggy and muddy. Behind those trees there is actually an old ruin of a really big German hangar. But yeah, that thing is really inaccessible and it's very difficult to get to actually. Especially now everything's so muddy here. So yeah, that's not what we're here for. This is just more like a talking vlog. But nevertheless, if we find something interesting, we'll take a look at it. But if you want to see that ruin of a hangar, well, I filmed that one a few years ago, so you could still look it up at some of my older videos. I might actually link it in. So as you can see, everything is really thinned out here. There really isn't much trees left. It's, well, completely cut down. Well, here we have the old electricity house. It's still there. This was built by the Germans in World War II, and it is now a shelter for bats as usual. And it seems like they've now completely barricaded the doors with sand. I have actually been in this thing a few years back when they hadn't barricaded it and the doors were actually open. But yeah, people have always tried to open those doors many a times, and now they've just barricaded it with sand. There are some really small openings there where the bats can enter. And also that door over there is barricaded, and there is still, well, a raised plateau made of bricks right there with that small tree. Don't think the GoPro can focus on it, but there's some bricks there. Hey, that looks new. They've added this information panel over here. Now that is rather interesting. Oh, I see a few people walking their dogs. But this is interesting. A new information panel. Something about the biodiversity. Some information about what they're doing here. Let's see if I can find the location of that hangar on that map. I believe it's somewhere here. So that information panel is clearly new, and well, they're kind of thinning out the forest. I guess they probably want to get rid of some of the pine trees and perhaps make it more like a mixed forest with different kinds of trees. Or they just want more biodiversity and that's why they're chopping down some trees. Yeah, it sounds a bit counterintuitive, but that's apparently why they do that. I have no idea why, I am not knowledgeable about that, but yeah, apparently you need to cut down trees to get more biodiversity. Don't really understand the logic of that. Maybe someone could explain that. So we are reaching the intersection, And hey, what do I see? Did they try to make a path that goes to the right? It can't be. I doubt they would have done that. No. Of course not. Although this looks rather peculiar. I mean, why would they do this? Why would they dig up this trench and have this gravel here? Because this direction actually goes to the hangar ruin, but yeah, I don't going to stand in there because it's very soggy and there's water as well. So maybe they are trying to create perhaps a creek along here. But yeah, deep behind those trees is a ruin of an old hangar that is completely blasted to bits. Well, normally you would go there, that is the normal route, and I always go here, which is a path that kind of goes, well, at the edge of the Air Force base. Hey, it now says that you cannot enter anymore. This used to be a path, actually, that you could get into. And now you cannot enter it. That is interesting. A few years ago, even a year ago, you could still go in here. And you could go all the way along the fence. Although there was a path that nobody really used. It was kind of an obscure path, to be fair. And you could really go along the, well, perimeter fence of the Air Force base. But also there a lot of trees have been chopped down. It's kind of sad that you cannot go in that path anymore. Kind of disappointed about that. Although it was quite a soggy path and very muddy as well. It's very narrow and not maintained. Unlike this path, which is the official path you're supposed to be going. But yeah, it looks like they're making some kind of stream there. So there's definitely a lot going on here. A year ago, no, actually just a few months ago in the summer, this was still kind of like normal how it originally was. So a lot of stuff is happening here. It seems like they are almost rearranging the forest. I mean, all that gravel, it's brand new. It wasn't here before. Again, it looks like they're making some sort of stream. Yeah, this is all new. Completely changed. There's still some bricks. So they are doing a lot of stuff here. But why does this have to be so wide? It looks like all those streams are kind of new. So this is pretty much a total forest rearrangement. I've always wondered if there were ruins or like derelict structures in this bit of the Air Force base, like ruins from the German period, but it doesn't appear to be any. But yeah, that bit is also completely changing. Everywhere you go you still find bricks, and of course those are bricks that are part of demolished or completely destroyed structures that the German Air Force base had. Oh, this looks very muddy. Yikes. Yeah, guess we'll have to do with it. I do wonder if I can still go in a path that is along there, because that's actually ending up in that other place. But yeah, this is New Year's Day 2021. It's also the first well proper video that is recorded in 2021, because I still have like 5 videos from 2020 that you still need to see, that still have to upload, and they were all made in like November and December, and even until the second day of Christmas. But yeah, we can go in here. This is still possible. But yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag of videos that I still have left of 2020. There's 3 building engineering videos about a housing estate being built in Borne. I don't think many people would be particularly interested in that. So unless you want to know about perhaps technology of house construction, you might find that interesting. But those videos were made during November and December, and they're kind of assembled from various clips. It took a while to edit them actually, because well, they were all various loose clips and I had to edit them together. I think the result is fairly decent. Again, it may only appeal to perhaps a small niche of people that might well be interested in building a house, or want to know a few things about the kind of structural aspects of house building in the Netherlands. And then there's 2 other videos that I have left, who are more about well, music. One of them is about dynamic range, something I'm kind of interested in, especially if you kind of make music of your own and you perhaps want to put it on a CD or something, or want to compare it against a commercial release. You have to kind of get to know something about dynamic range. So I'm kind of diving into that as well. And then there's a music video, kind of a soundtrack, and that's more like an experimental video. And that one is also tied slightly to that dynamic range video, because I had to do some well, mixing and mastering for some of that music that I used for that project. So from one thing comes another. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of stuff is happening here, and even there you can find various bits and pieces of bricks, like here. And here as well. Here in particular seems to be a lot of like bricks, and I know that there used to be like some small walls around there. They were like ruins from German hangars. So I wonder if those things have finally met their demise, and whether these are just the bits that came off of it. And again, those are some bricks with holes, and even more bricks. And they all kind of stood around here. Again, there were really low walls, and you probably have to look at some of my older videos from 2015 to kind of get an idea about it. So I doubt they are still there, because you could somewhat see them. No, it appears that they have been gone now, I think. So that's another ruin that is gone. Well, another ruin that is no longer here is a building on the Landgoed Oosterveld, which has been closed since 2016. So you cannot enter there anymore. It used to be accessible to the public for pedestrians and people that wanted to walk the dog, but this, well, that is a private estate, and the current owner doesn't want people there walking in his forest and checking out his ruins and such. So it's been closed down since 2016. From like the perimeter of that estate you could see like an old German building, and it was called the Bereitschaftsgebäude. It was already pretty much a ruin, kind of falling apart when I filmed that in 2015. So that thing doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, eventually even ruins that stand there for, well, 70 years, eventually they go away. They just fall apart, or they just get demolished. It's fairly clear that they've been riding here with large foresting equipment, considering all these tracks here. And here we have another new bit, again with a stream and some gravel. This is also kind of changed to how it used to be. It has changed quite a bit. So what are the plans for 2020 when it comes to new videos? Well, I don't know. I may make more building engineering videos about that housing estate. I'm not really sure. It just kind of depends on what I'm interested in. Of course, I will always do more gameplay commentary videos and some music production stuff when I feel like to. But yeah, for anything, I hope this COVID thing comes to an end. The Netherlands is kind of slow with the vaccination. They're only going to start somewhere well, later in January, and we're kind of late with that. With that being said, well, I hope you enjoyed this quickly thrown together rambling video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.